How's it going, YouTube? Cody Bernardi here with another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be going over this nice little poster that the National Crime Agency has supposedly put out saying what is on a child's computer. And if you see any of these on their computer or have a child you think is hacking, let us know so we can give advice and engage them into positive diversion. This was tweeted out by someone on Twitter, Linman Walker. And the tweet says, "This utter crap is being distributed through schools from the local authorities, so presume something council today. The level of disinformation is staggering. I'd be proud to find my kids learning to use any of these except Discord, but that's has nothing to do with hacking." So the poster says, Tor, browser used to access the dark web. Virtual machines can hide operating systems not normally found on the computer, like Kali Linux. Kali Linux is an operating system often used for hacking. Wi-Fi Pineapple is a bit of kit that can be used to capture sensitive data over in the internet. Discord is a popular communication platform often used to share hacking tips. Metasploit is a penetration software. What the fuck does that mean? Metasploit is a penetration software that makes hacking simple. Okay, well, I didn't know Metasploit was a penetrating software, but okay, whatever. Okay, NCA. So let's start from the top. Now, yes, Tor is the Onion router. That's what Tor stands for. It was developed by the Navy, I believe, or some DoD agency way back in the day, and I believe it's still currently funded by some DoD agency. So yes, you use Tor to access the dark web. You use it to browse to .onion URLs. True, yes. Virtual machines can hide operating systems not normally found on the computer. You're not hiding anything. If you have VirtualBox installed on a computer and you have an ISO on it, well, you're not hiding anything. Kali Linux is an operating system used for hacking. Yes, duh. It's so weird. They have Wi-Fi Pineapple. Like, that's so oddly specific. Can capture sensitive data over the internet. I don't know what the hell they mean by that. Okay. Discord is a popular communication platform used for hacking tips. Sure. I'm sure this video is considered another means of finding hacking tips. And Metasploit, a penetration software. I'm not going to get into that. So, without further ado, let's install, and I will show you kids or whoever how to install all of this. So, now disregard my OnlyFans because I created that in my previous video. So if you type in Tor on Google, download Tor browser. Now I don't have it on this machine, but right here you got Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Android. And what the SIG means right there, and we'll use this as a learning lesson. So when you download a piece of software, you'll usually see like an MD5, a SHA-256, or whatever hash. Basically that hash is specific to that file. If any bit was flipped or changed on that file, you'd get a completely different hash. So the way this works is when you download a file, you check what it says on the website, and if it matches, that means that through the internet and through all the mirrors and stuff like that that you might be downloading this, software from, it is authentic and nothing was changed on it. So I'm going to pause the video real quick right here and kind of explain hashing at a kind of high level. So the purpose of hashing is to check for file integrity. On the Kali.org's website, you have all of the different installers, and you also have the SHA-256 sum section right here. Now this, like I said, checks for file integrity. If any piece of this ISO image was to be manipulated, if there's a backdoor installed on it, if there was a different piece of software installed on it, it would make a completely different hash, and I will show you. If I was to change a couple letters in this file, the hash would be completely different on my end, and thus meaning that the image or the ISO image or whatever file that I downloaded was manipulated in transit, and it could be a bad image. So I'll show you real quick. So we have this string right here, and we're going to go ahead and pull up PowerShell. I already did it. But basically, we are going to run this file through SHA-256. So in PowerShell, you'll type in get-flash, or sorry, get-file hash space -algorithm SHA-256, and then we will specify the file that we're going to hash, which is in this case the ISO image that we downloaded on the Kali website. But it will generate, in theory, should generate the same exact string. So I'll go ahead and copy this, and if I was to Control F, I would get this entire section highlighted. So I know the image that I downloaded from the Kali website was untouched from the Kali servers all the way to my house. Now, if someone was to perform a man-in-the-middle attack, in theory, it should generate a completely different hash. Now, the reason why I say in theory is there is a known vulnerability in SHA-1, at least, called file collision. Same with MD5 and older variants of hashing algorithms. Basically, a file or a hash collision is two completely different files generate the same exact hash. Most of the time, 99.9999% of the time, you will not run into this issue. The equivalent on Linux is SHA-256 sum. This is the command you type in right there, and then you specify the file that you want to run the hash against. On with the video. If something was changed, it would generate a completely different hash. So Tor is fairly easy to install. You click on whatever operating system you're running on. I'm running on Windows, and it's just going to download. And there we go. In English, you can just install it. Nothing too crazy. Now, there are websites out there that I'm not going to list because I don't think some of these websites kids have any business on being on, so I'm not going to be endorsing any of that. However, Tor is a means to communicate on the internet pretty securely. It's a little different than a VPN, whereas a VPN is just you connecting to someone else's server, usually a paid VPN service you'll be hosting on something like AWS, DigitalOcean, or whatever, and you're basically browsing the internet through that software or infrastructure as a service IP range, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You're prone to, confiscations by the authorities, police, and stuff like that. Whereas Tor, it's completely randomized. You're usually connecting between 3 to 4 different IP addresses. They're called nodes, and not one node knows the path to the previous, like what information it has. So let's move on to virtual machines. So the one that is free for all of us to download is VirtualBox. Now this will essentially let you basically download things like Ubuntu, Kali, Fedora, all these different operating systems and run it on one system like this. So you can install, like I said, all these different operating systems and just make it run, and then it uses the hardware on your actual computer itself. So I'm sure if you are watching this video, you are very familiar with Kali Linux. It's basically Ubuntu with a bunch of installed on it. That's it. That's Kali. Kali is not a brand new, started from scratch operating system. It is literally Ubuntu with a bunch of stuff installed on it. I don't recommend it for beginners necessarily. You could get lost super quick and miss a ton of core things that I would recommend any person getting into information security know, like basic Linux commands, but that's neither here or there. Wi-Fi Pineapple is super random. That is a product sold by Hack5, which is, you can do bunch of different things. You could deauth people off networks. You can make a bad or an evil twin, which is basically a SSID that's the same as, like let's say Google Starbucks, and you load login page that's over HTTP, and someone types in the credentials to their actual Starbucks account, and you keep that password and log in and do whatever you need to do. But Wi-Fi Pineapple is just a physical device. Discord, well, it's, OG people use IRC, which is Internet Relay Chat, but Discord is kind of the way I chat with people now. So you got Discord and Slack and Twitter and YouTube and Reddit, all these other different channels that you can use. So nothing crazy about Discord. And the Metasploit's kind of random on here. So yes, Metasploit is a penetration testing framework. It does come with Kali Linux, and you can do things like reverse shells and Meterpreter and all these different exploits. Like you got Eternal Blue on there, Shell Shock, you name it. If it's built into the MSF console or MSF module or Metasploit framework, sorry, that's what MSF stands for, by the way, you could attempt to do some exploits. It's a hit or miss depending on the situations, but Metasploit is a great place to start pen testing and getting shells on computers. And I would actually recommend a website. I believe it's called HackMe. Hack.me. It's just HackMe. Now, HackMe will just basically spin up a little instance in the cloud on the internet, and you could do your pen testing on there. You can run Burp Suite against some of these websites, which is a whole different other video, and everything I'm talking about in here probably could be their own video. Hack Me and then Hack the Box pen testing labs. So yeah, you can check all this out. So, but that's it for this video. I will say, I'll go back to this. I don't know if this is actually true or not. I'm just making this video because it got almost 3,000 retweets on Twitter, and I thought it was kind of funny. So if you are a kid watching this video, I want to let you know that this is a load of crap. I'm sorry, it's a load of crap. I get what they're saying, that there are ethics involved with doing what you do. Ethical hacking, you may have heard that term before, but no one really divulges into what that means. Ethical hacking basically means that don't do illegal stuff. Now, that's kind of vague. It depends on the country where you do your stuff from. You know, nmapping a service that you don't own could be illegal and unethical. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But, I mean, don't be going out trying to steal people's identities. And you know, what I mean by that is like Google dorking for social security numbers. You know, all this bad shit that could get you in some serious trouble. And that is unethical, like you're affecting innocent people. So, but if you're going on sites like Hack the Box and Hack.me or participating in bug bounties and going to DEF CON or any security con to, you know, learn a little bit more in Roots Asylum, that's perfectly fine. Like, you're going to be coming out of high school or secondary school or whatever they call it around the world. You have a good chance of getting like a really good paying job for a pretty long time. Cybersecurity is not going anywhere anytime soon. So I would encourage kids, if you're interested, this is totally fine. This is not an association to illegal stuff. Just because I have a car doesn't mean I street race. Don't mind this. You know, I would say this is a roadmap to getting into security. So anyways, that's it for this video. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this with at least 900,000 of your friends, and you all have a fine and dandy day.